Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Part 3 Taiwan. I'm Adrian, your host. I live in Taiwan. I want to show you around. Where are we today? Today, we are at the Chiaotou Sugar Refinery. This area of Taiwan has been making sugar for a long time. The Dutch in the 1600s started making sugar here. In 1901, the Mitsui Corporation of Japan started the first modern sugar factory here. They operated the factory until 1946. In 1946, the Republic of China took over the operations and started the Taiwan Sugar Company. The Taiwan Sugar Company operated here until 1999. In 2002, Kaohsiung turned this into a cultural and historic site. It is a museum today. Let's go take a look around. Here we get the chemical formula of sugar. This sugar factory consumed a lot of raw sugar cane. The Japanese built an extensive rail network to bring the sugar in from the sugar fields to this point in the factory where they would offload the sugar cane into the processing. This is where the raw sugar cane was brought in, unloaded off the train cars, and fed into the factory. It's a pretty impressive piece of machinery. All of the raw sugar would be fed up and into that gray chute over there. Be sent up here and into the factory. The sugar came in from outside into this room, which is the pressing room. Here the sugar would be pressed heavier and heavier and heavier to squeeze all the juices out, which is used later to manufacture the sugar. Some big machinery in here. This is a pressing roll that was used to squeeze the sugar. It must have been noisy in here when it was in operation. After the pressing, it was brought over here into this area where they did the separation. They would add lime to the mix, and it would split the slurry into the usable sugar and the not usable sugar. That would be in these vats. Over here is the operations room. You can see the very modern equipment used to manage the plant. Part of the process making the sugar was to heat it up to over 100 degrees Celsius. These were used for providing the heat. The main control panel. This is the heating and processing area where the sugar was heated until it was ready for separation. Some big machinery in here. Here we have another exhibit on the final stages in processing, where the sugar would be weighed, measured, packed, sent off. Much brighter space. In order to take the finished product from the factory to the shipping yards, Japan also built an extensive freight network that connected all of the sugar refineries. And there's a lot of sugar refineries here in southern Taiwan. There's this one here in Tainan is another big one. That one is now maintained by the Ten Drum group. They needed somewhere to practice, so they found the abandoned sugar refinery in Tainan and got it as a place to do their practices. They also perform there. Makes a lot of sense. Refineries here in Taiwan have one of these very tall smokestacks. You can see them off in the distance all the time, and you know there is a sugar factory there. And we even have a model train that you can ride on. The area is busy today, it being Wednesday. It's very quiet here. Give you a ride on the train. Old train switching yard. And in the background, the new MRT. machines used to harvest the sugar from the fields. So here ends today's journey to the Chouteau Sugar Factory. Hope you enjoyed the journey. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.